Good morning. My name is Yash Risbet. I'm the president of the Westwood Baseball Association, and I'm proud to welcome you to our 2022 opening day ceremonies here at the home of Westwood Baseball, Meadowbrook Park. We're proud to be playing baseball on this field this year, and we have wonderful, beautiful weather for our opening day ceremonies, and can't wait to see all the smiles and the joy on our kids, our coaches, our family and friends. So let's get to it.
Opening day is back after 3 years. Welcome to opening day 2022. It's amazing to be back here doing this with the entire community present. We really need this for our kids, and it's going to be an absolutely amazing season. And that's how we've had a little different twist to our parade. You're going to see the kids march. They're going to march all the way around from left field to right field, and then they're going to run in one team at a time for our wonderful high school team. Give them a round of applause out there, by the way. That's our Westwood High School team out there. And the procession is going to be piped in by one of our very own on the drums, Chris Horst, and Tim Barrett from the Englewood Police Department. First, we have our T-Ball division, sponsor Ed Mathis of Remax Properties, managed by Coach Dutch. In the yellow, come on down. In the navy, also in the T-Ball division, managed by Coach Majerski, it's Light Bridge Academy. Come on down. Next up in the black, sponsored by coached by Coach Moran, is Pascack Valley Master Plumbers Association. Come on down. Next up in our gray, Managed by one of our sponsors, Coach Meadowbrook, is Patriot Home Inspection Services. Come on down. Next up in maroon, managed by Coach Drew, is Jack's Cafe. Come on down. Next in the Columbia blue, Coach Tigliano, Flawless Finish. How's it down, boys and girls? Coached by Coach Bain. In the orange is a longtime sponsor and a great friend, Premier Contracting, Gene Odell. Come on down, guys. Next up, our Pee Wee 7 division. In the blue, managed by Coach Dragona, is Iron Horse. In the orange, Coach By, Coach DeBonis, another long time, she mentioned Iron Horse celebrating their 50th year, and Lee Tremble says he sponsored 50 years. I don't have the records for it, but I trust him, so we also want to recognize that, and we'll do so later. And Joel and Company is also a longtime sponsor. Come on down, Joel and Company. Next up in the military green, Coach Urschler for Becker Funeral Home, another great sponsor of ours. Come on down, boys and girls. In the maroon, managed by Coach Phillips, is Foundations Physical Therapy. In the black, managed by Coach Corrigan, another longtime sponsor and friend, Vinny Sembler and Vindler Electric. From our Pee Wee 8th Division, in the blue, managed by Coach Bodie, bugging out termite and pest control from Migliori family. Come on down. Next in the maroon, managed by Coach Severs. Great friends, even though he had to show up this morning and help me with something. Hodges and Shuns, come on down. Hodges and Sons, come on down. Our final Pee Wee 8 team wearing the blacks, managed by Coach Estevez, is Mr. Barbershop. Come on down. That's our Pee Wee 7 and Pee Wee 8 division. A round of applause for them. Next up for our minors division, our biggest division for minors in some time. I'm very proud of that. First team up in the black jerseys, managed by Coach Cox, is Conrad's Confectionery. In the green, managed by Coach Garcia, is the Westwood Police Officers Association. Come on now, boys. In the blue, managed by Coach Connors, and one of our top tier sponsors this year is American Legion, Post 206 of Westwood. In the red, managed by Coach Barella, 80-20 smash. Coach Barella, come on down. Finally, for our minors division in the maroon, managed by Coach Castronova, another top-tier sponsor this year is Riverside Oral Surgery. In our majors division, wearing the reds, managed by Coach Vega, is Cafe Anello. In the blue, managed by Coach Blaney, is Prohibition Westwood. And finally, in our majors division, managed by Coach Saratelli, in the blacks, another top-tier sponsor is Dr. Lipkin Orthodontics. And for our alliance division, I'm just going to rattle them off real quick because we want to get going. Because they're all wearing red. Coach Perez and the Westwood Fire Department. Coach Connolly, Consolidated Boiler. Come on down, boys. Coach Clem and Five Dimes Brewery. Coach Clamonos, Prestige Realty. And Coach Marty, Verizon New Milford. Just to see the uniforms out here, this is really cool. Stay off the ground. Stay off the dirt. All right, folks, here we go. We have a very special presentation. A number of our local Troop 350 8th graders who are leaving the program, going to high school, have made Life Scout this year. And 4 of them are going to be presenting their flag and along with the Assistant Scoutmaster Tim McDivitt. So this morning's color guard will be led by Reed Geringer, Liam McDivitt, Noah Perez, and AJ Greco. Round of applause for them. Liam and Reed will lead the procession. AJ will deliver the color guard commands, followed by a Pledge of Allegiance led by Noah Perez. When the commands are done by AJ, we can turn and face the flag, and everybody can do the Pledge of Allegiance together. Without further ado, AJ.
All right, forward march.
Sorry, please remove your caps as well. My apologies. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Troop 350. And we wish them the best of luck on their route to Eagle Scout. We expect to see some great things and great projects for all that you do for the community. Now, if you would remain standing, keep your hats off. We'll face the flag. We have a beautiful rendition of our Star-Spangled Banner. She has sung for us in the past, and she's able to do it again. Amazing softball player, amazing performer.
Junior?
Yeah.
And I forget. They're all 8 years old to me from when they coached them in softball. Melanie Robles.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the red
her. That was beautiful. Finally, stay there. We have a final tune from our pipe and drum. They're going to pipe us out to God Bless America. Boys, take it away, and thank you very much for being here with us today. Round of applause for our pipe and drum. All right, we're going to rip through this as quickly as possible. I know everyone is anxious to get going with their day. We're going to have some fun stuff here. We've got practices all across the fields in town, and they're all playable, hopefully. So we're gonna have some fun. But let's get to the acknowledgments. First and foremost, none of this happens without some dedicated volunteers. So in mass, I want to acknowledge all the coaches that you see lined up here. One big round of applause for all the managers, all the coaches. All the players should be clapping very, very loudly right now. It starts with them, and that's what makes it happen. Every time you show up for practice, every kind of game, give your coaches a little pound out. Make sure they know how much you appreciate them. Is that a deal? Let's make sure we do that every single time. I wanted to acknowledge the wonderful work by our executive committee. I want to start with our registrar. She handled all the registrations. This year, Linda Fair, wherever you are, if you come down, out onto the field. She took over all of our registration process, made my life and a lot of our lives a lot easier, and her attention to detail was definitely appreciated. If you'd all give her a round of applause. Ken Bodie took over as our safety officer and Little League liaison. That's a lot of paperwork and certainly a lot of follow-up. Some of you who haven't finished your background checks will certainly be contacted by Ken. I've got to know him and appreciate his dedication to his family and to baseball. Please give him a round of applause. Ken, come on down as well. Next, our field trustee, Ed Skiba, who's out here somewhere as well. He will be controlling and helping out with all coordinating activities to keep our fields in tip-top shape this year. So feel free to reach out to him if you have any issues. But most importantly, we hope that we have a community of people to help, especially on Saturdays when we know that we have some early morning games. Ed's been a great friend and certainly a joy to work with. Very happy to have him on board on the executive committee. A round of applause for Ed. Our treasurer, Deb Deneen, I think, is she monitoring the sign table? Deb, wherever you are, I know she's close by. It's been also a joy to work. We have some great parents who are at the top of the food chain here, and she's just all about the kids, all about doing whatever she can for her son and for everybody involved. Big round of applause for our treasurer, Deborah Deneen. And finally, for our secretary, Nanette Hurry, she's been on the job, I think, like 6 hours or something like that. She kind of jumped in with both feet, and she's done an amazing job keeping me sane and keeping the rest of us sane. A round of applause for Nanette, please. So we have two. There's Deb, there we go. For all the Deb, for Linda, and for Nanette, we have a little token of appreciation for your flowers.
I get flowers?
You get a handshake.
Where's my flowers?
Perhaps a pint at one of our sponsors that we have out here. We want to acknowledge two people because their term of service kind of ended during the pandemic. And though we mentioned it last year when we were closing, there's never enough thanks I can give to these two people. I'm going to start first with our outgoing secretary, Amy Stewart. I know you're here. If you would come this way, wherever you are. She is here. Come on down here. Yeah, you can step on the dirt. Yes. The least we can do is do that. Yeah. Yeah, you can go. While I talk about you for 10 seconds. You talk about and a family that is just overly involved, cares about the kids, cares about everything involving them getting the best experience. That's the Stewart family. A round of applause for Amy. And finally, if you like what you see on the field, for the last decade or so, Jay Homiak has poured his blood, sweat, literal tears into making this field, along with a number of others. But he actually came down yesterday, spent 6 hours on this field. He doesn't have a kid in the program. He just loves this program and loves Westwood baseball. Big round of applause for Jay. Yeah. So a round of applause for our entire executive committee, if you would. I'm trying to rip through these as quick as possible, so please bear with me. Next, I want to acknowledge, we can't do any of this unless we have a relationship, and an amazing relationship. You talk about dedicated volunteers, I'm talking about our mayor and our governing body. I'm going to introduce them right now. Mayor Ray Arroyo, please come forward. Council President Beth Dell. Councilman Rob Picacci. Councilwoman Hunter Collins. Councilman Anthony Greco. Councilwoman Cheryl Hodges. And Councilman Chris Montana.
We had a rough time with the pandemic. The coaches, the parents trying to keep their kids on the field and active. You persevered. This is your reward. Today's your reward. Today we're going to have a game where the only mask is going to be on the umpires and the catchers. Good luck and God bless.
One of our newly elected state senators, she's a trailblazer in her own right, representing our wonderful district. I want to bring her out for, if she'd like to say something, I would love for it. Holly Shapizi.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Who's ready for some baseball? Who wants to play? Have a great season, play your hearts out, thank your coaches, and go play baseball.
Thank you, Holly Ann. Thank you to the Mayor and Council, and thank you to Senator Shapizi. We appreciate you being here. You'll notice that there are a lot of banners on this field. We don't get to have our experience without all of those sponsors paying really good money to see you all play baseball. The only thing that I ask, and I ask it sincerely, please go support those brands. They support us religiously, and I would hope that when you go in to any of those stores or any of those vendors, tell them, I'm the Westwood Baseball, and I want to thank you for your support. They would love to hear that, and I would deeply appreciate that on behalf of our organization. Like I said, the one sponsor we will acknowledge at this time is the Iron Horse. Celebrated their 50th anniversary. We saw their celebration out on the street. They have been a continuous sponsor. We want to thank them for 50 years of support. You'll also remember the kids that were out there as you guys were running in. Our Westwood High School baseball team. I'd like to bring Coach Orbanovic out with his team. and he just would like to say a quick round of applause for our coach.
Thank you, guys, it's great to see so many players out here. The future of Westwood baseball looks bright, and I'm happy to be the head coach at Westwood. Any information about Westwood High School can be found on our athletic website. All of our home games are in the back of the high school. We got a nice, beautiful field in the back. We take care of it. Most games are 4:15 during the week. We do have lights. Fortunately enough, we can play some night games as well. But I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck, and I can't wait to see you guys in the future. Thank you.
Round of applause for our high school team, guys. Best of luck this year. No slacking off. I know with Herbs that's not going to happen. Coach Orbanovic is also hosting a clinic during the spring break week, if I'm not mistaken. The flyers are out on our table. If you are around and not going away and want to check it out, he does a great job with the training that they do for all the kids. And at this time, we also want to acknowledge the sponsors with which I can't imagine having baseball without. Our police department, our fire department, they blanket on each side of our Westwood baseball banner in our outfield. It's very special to us. I know we have some members of both of those departments here. We thank you for all that you do to protect us. Our emergency services, our EMS, our auxiliary police, they all deserve a great round of applause because they make us safe. They keep us safe every single day. One of the kind of highlights of the day is to have one of the alumni from our program say a few words. So this year, I was trying to find somebody who had volunteered their time, been part of the program, been part of the town, and there were very few names that came to that list, and one of them is here with us. And I was certainly proud of all the service he's given as a teenager and now as a college student, and look forward to having him around. Where's Philip? Philip Bacacci, please come by. He's been helping out with a number of sports, including Westwood baseball, for a number of years, and I just wanted him to say a few words because he was one of you way long ago.
Thank you, Yash. When Yash texted me yesterday to come out here and do it, there was no hesitation, and I had to think about what was I going to say. So I called a couple of the players I used to play baseball with at this field, guys like one of my best friends, Frankie Galano, and he wanted you all to know that time is precious on this field. There's nothing like this field. Listen, I can give you stories about this field when I played against Ridgewood, struck out 3 times, had a meltdown in the dugout, and my dad said, "You're going to come up and get the game-winning hit." Granted, bottom of the 5th inning comes up, bases loaded, and the pitch was so far above my head, I had to tomahawk the thing right out to left center field, brought home the game-winning run. But I could come and give you a bunch of different baseball stories, but that's not what I'm here about. As you heard Yash talk about my volunteerism, it all started 10 years ago when I started helping out the kids of St. Jude down in Memphis, Tennessee, helping kids fighting against cancer. In the 10 years that I ran our committee, we raised over $10 million, and every single year averaged $1.5 million to helping kids fighting cancer. But that's not where my volunteerism would stop. It was then by investing in others, helping them fulfill dreams that they had. So that's when I began coaching. And it's been an experience where I've met a lot of great guys, a lot of them who can't be here today because they're playing on the high school level. Or then I got a lot of these great guys standing here behind me. Come up, I want a couple of them definitely come up because I wouldn't be standing here without them with me. Silvio Pickenage, Connor Roach, remember when they were playing on this field with me. And then coaching them throughout high school and helping however I could. But if there's one thing that I could really just let everybody know, is that no matter what in life, when times get hard and when you think things aren't going your way, you have to be strong, and that's so easy to say. But you never know how strong you are until being strong is your only option. Because of these guys and coaching and volunteering, I got a scholarship to go to college for that reason. If there's one thing that I can leave you here with this, how all of my teams go, the motto that I always have, our philosophy, is by creating relationships with others, investing in their dreams and aspirations, and helping them chase those dreams and aspirations with them, you become a dream fulfiller. And what's better than that? Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. That was great. And it's something we want to look forward to. Anybody that we always are looking for volunteers. Anybody that wants to help out a little bit, we can find a place for them, certainly anywhere in our organization. This time I just want to quickly acknowledge our borough staff, specifically Rick Woods, superintendent of our DPW, and Gary Buckheister, our recreation department director. We do a lot of close work with all of them, and they've been very cooperative, very supportive. And I also want to make sure we acknowledge them appropriately for making sure we have these fields every year. So thank you to both Rick and to Gary for all their support. So over the past 3 years, we've sent a number of teams to Cooperstown. A lot of you have bought the lawn signs to support our 12U program. Some of you might have gone to Cooperstown as well. And we never really got to acknowledge the coaches that stayed in the bunks with those kids for the week. I mean, there's not enough thanks to give to those coaches. And of course, during the pandemic, our 12U program that year had nowhere to go because they shut down, but last year they were also able to go. So from our 2019 team, I wanted to acknowledge Coach Tom Smith, Kevin Stewart. We'll acknowledge both of them for our 2020 team that didn't get to go, but eventually did go. Coach managed by Tim McDivitt, helped Chris Connolly and Joe Perez. Round of applause for them. And then our 2021 crew was managed by Mike Klein, assisted by Kevin Stewart and Coach Casemiro. Round of applause for them. I didn't have that written down, but I wanted to make sure I got it. A number of years ago, when I had the honor and privilege of being elected to this position, we want to do something special to teach our young people about service, about sacrifice, and it's rarely taught these days in a meaningful way. And it was really one of the first many conversations I had with Cheryl Hodges about honoring her son and with his dog tag on our baseballs. We've used those baseballs for the past 2 years. We will continue to use those baseballs on this field as soon as they arrive from somewhere in Iowa. So it has the Westwood baseball cardinal on it, and it reads, in honor of Sergeant Christopher R. Herbeck, USMC, KIA, January 14th, 2010, Afghanistan. I hope you all ask about what's on this baseball when you play with it. And we will be glad to tell you about it. But most importantly, I'd love to have Cheryl come out for a minute and just say a few words, because these are the important things about teaching what's important for our kids. This is the reason we get to play baseball and have the lives we do. And I'm going to stop talking and give the mic to Cheryl before I try to.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. I'm not going to have a lot to say because you guys, you've been so patient. But I do want to say something to you. This is, on behalf of our family, I want to tell you what this means to us, that every time you come out and you play ball, that you see this ball and you see Chris's name. And maybe you're going to tell someone about him. Maybe my grandsons who are on these teams are going to tell their teammates about their uncle who sacrificed his life for his country. It's an important thing. And you know, anything that is worthwhile in your life is worth working for. Whether you go out and play baseball, you go out there and you do it well. And you put everything into it because you're going to be wonderful at it. Okay? And when you do that and you remember my son, I want you to know from my heart and from our family how much that means to us. We will always support these programs. Chris grew up here. He grew up on this field. Unfortunately for him, he really didn't like baseball. He was picking dandelions out there. But he loved being a part of this community. And I love all of these volunteers, these moms, these dads, all of the players that are here helping out. You guys are awesome. And you are lucky to live in this town where we have people that care about their community. That's what we are. We're a family, okay? So I want you to know how much I appreciate what you've done to honor Chris and remember him. And from our family, thank you guys. And as Holly Shapizi, our senator, our beloved senator said, play ball.
That's right.
To that end, I also want to bring Cheryl out because we're going to receive an amazing donation from them to finish funding that new scoreboard. So sometime in 2022, we'll have a new scoreboard up there, and it will also honor Chris and his service to our country. So on behalf of Westwood Baseball, I couldn't thank you more than that. All right, you've been patient. One last thing to do. Mayor Arroyo, if you come out, is poor Rob Bacacci, Councilman Bacacci, going to have to catch him? Honorary first pitch. Couldn't think of a better person than our mayor. I can't thank you enough for this. Now, let's keep the cheering going as we see this pitch come in. Bacacci's going to give him a fastball sign. It's either Bull Durham or Jacob DeGrom, I'm not sure. That's a strike in my book. For those of you that didn't see, that was one hell of a stop by Councilman Bacacci. Well, we've already said the two key words for baseball. On three, can we all say them together? Because I couldn't imagine not hearing all of you. 1, 2, 3, play ball! So, American Legion Post 206 is one of our top tier sponsors. They were a sponsor when I played Little League here a long time ago. I just heard from a Councilman Greco that they're going to sponsor a brand new flag for our flagpole. Please acknowledge that. That's a wonderful gesture. Eddie, wherever you are, I'll find you. Thank you so much. And we're thankful to American Legion Post 206 for their sponsorship. Have a great, great day. Have a great season. Most importantly, remember to thank your coaches. And, oh, by the way, thank your parents, your grandparents, your uncles, your aunts, whoever it is that's going to come support you. That's what makes our town what it is. I also, lastly, want to acknowledge all the 8th graders that are aging out of our program. A lot of them are going to go on to play baseball in high school, as well as other sports, and it's been a real joy to watch you guys since you've been 5 and 6 years old grow up through the program.